In this video, I'm going to share with you how my iPad has really leveled up my law practice and made my life as a lawyer so much easier. But first, we got to roll that intro. About 9 months ago, I shared with you a video showing my desk setup as a lawyer who owns his own law firm. And at the end of that video, I basically left you with a cliffhanger.
Flashback.
I am excited to say that I'm adding an Apple iPad Pro to the mix. Unfortunately, it just hasn't arrived yet. It's still a couple weeks out. The only thing I have at this stage is the Smart Keyboard Folio. The reason why I purchased the iPad Pro is to increase my productivity even more and to also completely eliminate my need for paper. Whether or not the iPad Pro can actually achieve these goals, that's yet to be determined. But once I figure out the answer to that question, you better believe there's going to be a follow-up Law Venture video so you can figure out whether or not it's going to help you and your legal practice.
Many months later.
After everyday use over the last 9 months, the verdict is in, and I can honestly say that the Apple iPad is a fantastic tool for lawyers. Let's kick things off by talking about the iPad stand that I use because it truly unlocks the functionality of the iPad itself. I purchased this iPad stand on Amazon and could not be happier. Not only does it allow the iPad to rotate left and right, but it also allows it to tilt up and down. Plus, the iPad stand uses magnets on the back to hold the iPad up, so you can take it off very easily. Finally, the iPad stand comes with this nifty squared off charging cable so that it fits around the iPad and the stand itself and it kind of hides behind the scenes. Just be sure to not record yourself with one hand while also trying to plug in this charging cable with the other, or it can be a real struggle. Come on, Jarrett, you can do it. Feel for it. Feel for it. Everyone's watching. There you go. Got it. As always, if you're interested in this iPad stand or any products mentioned in this video, be sure to check out the links in the description below. Now let's talk about my favorite benefit of having this iPad. It truly takes the Zoom deposition and Zoom hearing to the next level. For example, if I'm giving a PowerPoint presentation during a Zoom hearing while I'm giving an argument, then the iPad allows me to go into presenter mode and be able to draw directly on a slide to annotate any type of emphasis that needs to be made. Another benefit here is that during Zoom depositions, I can share the iPad screen, use a note app, and through the note app, create exhibits or write out demonstratives that I want to use for later. Now at this point, I'm just showing off. I'm holding a camera while working Zoom and sharing the iPad screen, which is showing PDF Expert so I can annotate an image, which can be super helpful whenever you're taking someone's deposition. A hidden benefit of the iPad is it can make your legal work a little bit more comfortable. For me, sitting behind my desk all day can be a little bit of a drag. Sometimes I need a different environment, and so I'll oftentimes go to our living room couch where I can get a little bit more comfy, I can stretch my legs a little bit more, get some natural light. But honestly, what you're looking at right now is totally staged and not realistic at all. So let's change that. Yep, this is much more accurate and realistic. I mean, are you even working if you don't have a dog that loves attention next to you? Look, I stopped petting her, and what does she do? She wants more attention. Yep, she gives kisses. If you love traveling and sometimes you have to work while traveling, then the iPad can be an absolute game changer. Over the summer, my wife and I went to Paris for a friend's wedding, and then we went to Croatia to visit some of her family members. And for this trip, I did not bring a laptop to keep my law firm up and running. Instead, the only thing I brought was the iPad itself, and it did incredibly well at making sure that I was productive as a lawyer. In fact, what you're about to see is sadly my lack of stress for having only an iPad. If you're curious on which iPad apps I specifically used and how I was able to keep my virtual law firm up and running on the iPad, don't worry, there's a future video on the way just for you. Europe aside, I'll oftentimes go to lunch and take my iPad with me. In doing so, I'll use my phone as a hotspot so my iPad can stay connected to the internet. One of the coolest perks of having an iPad now is that my iPad acts as a second monitor to my iMac. I have a confession. I'm addicted to tabs on tabs, and in this situation, being able to drag one window tab to the iPad gives me so much more screen real estate. We can't overlook this next benefit: natural reading. This one is important for me because it feels like I'm reading all the time. It doesn't feel natural to read from a computer monitor, but it does feel much more natural to read from an iPad because it feels like a book. Next up on the list, Paperless Notes. Okay, I cannot in good conscience let you keep watching this video without giving you a warning here. What you're gonna see in these future clips may haunt you for the rest of your days, and I apologize. But I can't really tell you what you're gonna see. I can only show it to you. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look pretty. Some people have their wall of fame. I have my wall of shame. And this is something I'm super self-conscious about. We have sound blankets on, I think there's a rug running back there, maybe some pillows on the floor, in order to absorb as much noise as possible to limit the echo going on inside the office, but maybe more importantly, to limit the noise coming through the windows that are on the other side from a road that's out there where I can basically hear people sneezing in their car as they drive by. A lot's going on here and it doesn't look good. This is one of those practical effects of having a YouTube channel and trying to give you that crispy audio, or at least the best audio I can give you. So in these future clips you're about to see, I apologize. And if you're wondering what that's going on, let's just not even talk about it. So I only ever write something down whenever I'm taking notes from a call involving a potential client. In that situation, I'm getting a lot of valuable information that I want to save. Whenever I was writing on scratch sheets of paper, I would get so much anxiety that I would lose those pieces of paper. Now I just put all those notes on the iPad and then save those notes to the cloud. Anxiety is gone and it makes my life so much easier. Also, I am completely faking this clip. I'm not talking to anybody, so I expect my Oscar in the mail. Now let's talk about the paperless planner, i.e. what keeps me productive. You're probably getting the sense of the paperless theme going on, and that's by design. When I bought the iPad, the primary purpose was to try and go as paperless as possible. And I'm a huge to-do list type of person, to where every day I try and write out what I need to accomplish for that particular day, so that whenever I do complete that task, I can get the high of crossing it out. But I also don't want to have a whole bunch of scratch sheets everywhere on my to-do list for the entire year, so digitizing is the best way to go. To sum up, the iPad keeps my law firm productive when I'm in the office, it keeps it up and running when I'm out of the office, and it makes my life a whole lot easier. As a result, the iPad for lawyers gets a thumbs up. Man, I have immediate regrets for this ending. Way too corny. Oh, but we're gonna keep it.